All right, you ready to dive in? We're tackling liquid AI today, this new AI model. Some people online saying it could even be bigger than GPT.
Really?
Yeah. We've got a couple of YouTube videos lined up, Discover AI, Prompt Engineer. Oh, and we even found a French article from lebigdata.r.
Très bien.
Right. Got to spice things up a bit.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Can liquid AI deliver? Is it all hype?
Well, I will say the team behind it, they have some serious credentials.
Yeah.
We're talking like MIT spinoff, experienced researchers. They've even got collaborations with Stanford and NVIDIA. Not a small operation.
No kidding. Those are some big names. But I mean, right now, isn't a lot of the hype based on benchmarks, specific tests? It's not like liquid AI is suddenly everywhere, right?
It's true. It's early days. I think what's got people intrigued is how they're approaching things. Liquid AI uses these things called liquid neural networks, LNNs.
LNNs. Okay, so catch me up. What makes them different?
Efficiency, mainly. The traditional AI models, they're resource heavy. LNNs, they're designed to, do more with less.
So lean, mean AI machines. What's that mean practically, though? Like, how does it actually work differently?
Imagine it's like the difference between, say, a gas-guzzling SUV and one of those sleek electric cars. Both get you where you need to go.
But one's a lot better on gas mileage.
Exactly. And that efficiency, it becomes super important when you think about AI on your phone, or like even those little robot vacuums.
Okay, so it can run on smaller devices. That makes sense. Speaking of how it works, the Discover AI video mentioned this context length thing a bunch. What's that all about?
Basically, it's how much information the AI can keep in mind, at once while it's working on something new.
Like how much of a book you can remember having read.
Kind of, yeah. Larger context, the better it can handle complex stuff. And Liquid AI is making some big claims there.
I think I saw that 32,000 tokens compared to, what was it, 4,000 for a model of a similar size?
Big difference. Okay, so think about analyzing a huge legal document or summarizing a research paper.
Takes a lot of brain power to keep all that straight.
Exactly. Larger context means the AI can actually understand the connections within all that information much better.
So bigger is better.
Sort of. It's not just about size, it's how well it actually uses all that information. Honestly, that's one of the big challenges right now in AI, teaching these models not just to remember, but to actually understand.
So you can have a massive library, but it's useless if you can't actually comprehend any of the books.
Nailed it. Oh, and another interesting thing they're doing, 3 versions of their core model, the Liquid Foundation models, or LFMs.
3 versions. Okay, so like different flavors of AI, why do that?
Options. Flexibility for different users, I guess. They've got the LFM1B, that's for devices with limited power.
Makes sense.
Then there's the LFM3B, that one's optimized for, well, things like your phone, drones, maybe even robots someday.
Robots with AI brains. Getting very sci-fi here.
Right. And finally, there's the big one, LFM40B, most powerful, designed to run on powerful servers, for the really complex stuff. They're really trying to cover all the bases.
Smart. So they've got the team, the technology, the ambition. But how does liquid AI actually perform in the real world? That's what the Discover AI YouTuber wanted to know, right?
He put it through its paces, some really complex logical reasoning tasks. And that's where things get interesting.
Because it sounds like liquid AI might have tripped up a bit.
Yeah, let's just say room for improvement. The YouTuber found that on some of those tougher tests, the really intricate logical stuff, liquid AI really struggled. Sometimes it would get stuck in loops, and sometimes, well, it just gave the wrong answer.
Not a great look, especially if they're claiming to be superior in logical reasoning.
Remember, though, this is still early access. Think of it like a beta version of software.
Sure.
There are bound to be a few bugs.
Right.
They've got a few weeks to iron things out before the official release, which is scheduled for October 23rd at MIT.
Plenty of time. But those tests, they raise some questions. What do you think? Are these early issues a cause for concern or just growing pains?
Probably a bit of both. It's not uncommon for new technology to have a few hiccups early on. This is a whole new approach. There's always a learning curve.
So we shouldn't hit the panic button just yet.
Exactly. It's a work in progress. These early tests, though, really valuable. They help identify the weaknesses, give them time to improve it before it's released to everyone.
True. Better to find out now than later. On the other hand, I mean, those results do highlight how challenging it is to develop AI that can truly think logically. like humans.
No doubt. We're still in the early stages here.
Still a long way to go before machines can think for themselves.
Long way to go. Now, prompt engineer video, they highlighted some pretty promising strengths.
Right. They were really pushing the general and expert knowledge angle.
Yeah, and all the languages. I mean, this thing is practically fluent in everything. English, Spanish, French, German, Chinese, Arabic, Japanese, Korean, you name it.
Wow, that's impressive.
And don't forget the hardware compatibility. NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, Cerebras, even Apple hardware.
They really want this to run on everything.
It's smart, makes it accessible. A lot more people can actually use it, regardless of what tech they have.
It's like they're trying to make Liquid AI the Switzerland of AI. Neutral, accessible to all. But speaking of shaking things up, the prompt engineer video, they made a pretty bold claim. Remember that? They said that LLMs, the large language models we're all familiar with.
Yeah, they said they could become obsolete.
Obsolete. Can you believe that?
It was a bold statement, that's for sure. They were basically saying that LLMs, as good as they are now, might be yesterday's news soon. And it is worth noting that video was sponsored by Fireship.ai.
Fireship.ai. Don't they?
They offer access to multiple AI tools, including a bunch of LLMs like GPT, Cloud, Gemini, and all those.
Right. So it's a little like they're saying, hey, try our new awesome LFM. It might make everything else obsolete. But no worries. We still got the old stuff too, just in case.
It's clever marketing, no doubt. But even with that, their point is interesting. The AI world moves fast.
That's for sure. So what does it all mean? Is Liquid AI the future?
Too early to tell. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Time will tell if it lives up to all the hype, or if those hiccups we saw are, a sign of bigger problems. One thing's for sure, though. It's going to be an exciting ride.
Absolutely. AI development is just exploding right now.
It's unpredictable. Who knows what'll happen next?
That's what makes it so interesting. So while we wait to see what happens with Liquid AI, should we take a closer look at those performance issues? What they could mean for the future of the model.
It's important to remember the creators of Liquid AI, they know about those logic issues. They're working on it, getting it ready for the launch.
Good. Still time to tweak things. But it does make you wonder, what's causing those issues in the first place? Like, is it fixable? Or is this a problem with the whole liquid neural network approach?
Million-dollar question, right? It's hard to say without, getting into the nitty-gritty of the code, the training data.
Peeking under the hood.
Exactly. It could be something small, a bug, or maybe something with how they're training it. Or, it could be something fundamental about how LNNs work, how they process information. It's so new,
Like trying to fix a car engine you've never seen before.
Right. But one thing's for sure, the Liquid AI team, they're no slouches. They built a system that's efficient, it's versatile, it's got all that knowledge. Now it's about fine-tuning those reasoning skills, making sure it can, think on its feet a little better.
Because, like they said in the prompt engineer video, the AI world is not waiting around. They even said LLMs could become obsolete. I think that's really possible. Liquid AI just disrupts everything that much.
I mean, it's not impossible. Liquid AI isn't just trying to be a slightly better LLM, right? They're going for a bigger change, a whole different way of thinking about AI.
So not just a better chatbot. This is bigger.
Much bigger. If they can combine what's good about liquid neural networks with the strengths of LLMs, well, then we might see something really amazing. Imagine AI on your phone, but it's fast, it can handle huge amounts of data, and it can actually reason like a person. That's the dream, right? That's what Liquid AI is aiming for.
Okay, I see the appeal. But back to the context length thing for a second. 32,000 tokens is a lot, but is it really that revolutionary? The Discover AI guy seemed skeptical. Like, it's a drop in the bucket compared to where AI could go.
That's because context length is just one part of the puzzle. It's not enough just to hold a lot of information. You have to be able to use it. It's like you can memorize a whole page of a book.
But not understand what any of it means.
Exactly. True intelligence, human or artificial, it means understanding, analyzing, making connections. So sure, AI is getting better at handling more information, longer sequences. But the real challenge, teaching it to actually think about that information, to understand it on a deeper level.
Which brings us back to those logic problems that Liquid AI stumbled on.
Right, because if it can't figure out a logic puzzle, how can we trust it with really complex stuff in the real world?
Like sending someone to a spelling bee who doesn't know the alphabet.
A little harsh, but I get your point. The good news is, logical reasoning, it's a skill. AI can learn and improve just like humans. Look at LLMs, how far they've come, right?
True, they went from barely stringing sentences together to writing poems, code, Even screenplays.
Exactly. So yeah, Liquid AI has some weaknesses right now, but it's early. It can still improve.
So there's still hope. It can still live up to all the hype.
There's always hope. But it takes more than hype, right? More than impressive specs. They need to fix those logical reasoning problems, show everyone this thing is the real deal.
So it's not game over just because of a few logic puzzles.
Not at all. And remember, Liquid AI isn't just about competing with LLMs. It's about exploring new possibilities, like that hardware compatibility running on everything. That's a big deal.
Right. They want it on phones, servers, everything. Why is that so important?
It makes AI accessible. Not everyone has a supercomputer, right?
Definitely not.
By making it work on something as small as a phone, they're saying anyone can use AI. You don't need a ton of expensive equipment.
Imagine AI apps on your phone that actually work well. Or like super smart drones that can fly anywhere.
Exactly. And think about healthcare, manufacturing, all these industries that could use AI.
Giving superpowers to everyday objects.
In a way, yeah. And that's the big idea, right? Integrating AI into everything we do. Of course, there are challenges, technical ones, ethical ones.
Speaking of which, the Lebedetta FO article, they mentioned some pretty big possibilities for liquid AI, especially in finance, healthcare, and biotech.
Yeah, lots of potential there. Those are all industries that could be transformed by liquid AI. Let's start with finance. AI's already used a lot there.
High-frequency trading, all that.
Some of that. But mostly it's more about things like preventing fraud, assessing risk, customer service even, making things more secure, more efficient.
Not just about making money faster.
Right. But liquid AI, it can handle tons of data, spot patterns, adapt to changes. It could change how the whole financial system works.
So an AI that can predict the stock market perfectly. Or find investments no one else can.
Maybe. But we have to be realistic too. Finance is complicated. A lot can go wrong.
One mistake,
Yeah.
and the whole thing could come crashing down.
Exactly. So yes, it's exciting, but also risky. We need to be careful, make sure these AI systems are reliable, transparent.
Transparency, that's huge.
Yeah.
Especially in finance, which can feel very secretive. But what about healthcare? That seems like a perfect fit for liquid AI.
Absolutely. We're already seeing AI in healthcare, diagnosing diseases, new treatments, all that. But liquid AI, it can handle all sorts of medical data. Images, genomic sequences, health records.
So healthcare that's actually personalized, tailored to you.
Exactly. Imagine an AI analyzes your entire medical history, your DNA, your lifestyle, everything, and it tells you exactly what your risks are, what you need to watch out for.
That would be amazing. But what about the ethics of all this? Especially in healthcare, where the stakes are so high.
Crucial point. We have to be so careful developing these tools. Data privacy, making sure AI doesn't discriminate, it's all incredibly important.
We don't want AI doctors that treat some patients differently than others.
Of course not. Trust and equal access are key, but we also don't want to lose sight of the good AI can do. Liquid AI could be revolutionary for medicine. More effective treatments, better outcomes.
So finance, healthcare. What about biotech? The article mentioned that too.
Huge potential there. Biotechnology is all about data. DNA, proteins, cellular processes, incredibly complex stuff. Liquid AI could be a game changer. Faster drug discovery, even more personalized medicine. We could understand life itself in a whole new way.
That's incredible, but also a little scary, right? Curing diseases, living longer, even altering life itself.
It's exciting and daunting at the same time. Like any powerful tool, we have to be responsible.
With great power. You know how it goes.
Exactly. The future of biotech, maybe even humanity itself, it depends on the choices we make now. We have to think about the consequences. Use these technologies for good.
It sounds like a biotech revolution is coming. And liquid AI might be at the forefront. But we need to make sure it's a revolution that benefits everyone.
Absolutely. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh.
Liquid AI is still new, lots of potential, but those limitations, the logic problems, they're real.
Those logic puzzles were definitely eye-opening. Sounds like they need to figure those out before liquid AI can cure cancer or revolutionize Wall Street.
For sure. But every big change starts with a small step. Think about it. The wheel, the printing press, the internet.
All revolutionary in their own way.
Exactly. It's easy to focus on the present, on the problems, but we need to remember the big picture.
So we could be seeing the start of something huge with liquid AI.
Maybe. But the key is to be excited and skeptical at the same time. Embrace the possibilities, but don't ignore the risks.
It's a tightrope walk, isn't it? Getting excited about the future, but also being cautious, realistic. How do we find that balance as AI keeps advancing?
Awareness, staying informed, having these conversations, thinking about what it all means. and asking good questions.
Okay, so what questions should we be asking about liquid AI right now as it gets closer to, really being out there?
Practically speaking,
Well,
we need to see if they fix those logical reasoning problems. Will it actually work in the real world, not just in the lab?
because a fancy AI that can't handle real life, that's not very helpful.
Right. But it goes deeper than that. We need to think about the bigger picture, too. How will liquid AI, with its efficiency, its accessibility, change things? Will it really overtake LLMs? Or will it lead to entirely new applications of AI, things we haven't even imagined yet?
It's like every answer just leads to more questions.
That's AI for you. Always changing, always something new to learn. It's what makes it so fascinating.
It really is. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. The technology behind liquid AI, what it could mean for different industries, all those ethical questions.
And those bold predictions, LLMs becoming obsolete, that's a big one.
Right. I feel like we're just getting started, honestly. Like we've only seen a glimpse of what liquid AI could become.
Just the tip of the iceberg. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride. Liquid AI is going to be a big part of how AI develops.
No doubt. Well, sounds like we'll have to revisit this topic, maybe after that MIT launch event.
Definitely. The AI world never sleeps.
That's for sure. So, until next time, everyone, keep learning, keep asking those tough questions, and keep diving deep. We'll see you next time.